Bam! We're starting. What's up, everybody? I am Aaron Hathaway with Ghost Ship Games. With me, here sitting in these chairs, Mike, lead game designer, Mikkel, game director. And today we are talking Rogue Core, what we've learned, how the game has evolved, closed alpha, where we're at, where we're headed, all that stuff. Closed alpha, launched in late April,
it's all a blur, I don't know.
Yeah. A couple of months.
It already feels
We've been busy.
Okay, been a couple of months. What are you guys feeling about how it's come so far?
I'm very happy, but again, like I said, we're crazy busy because there's been so much that we're trying to get done, and again, preparing for the next alpha release. And again, there's been already a lot of feedback coming in internally from outside, and we've already been moving on a lot of it. And I mean, Rogue Core is constantly changing, and we're constantly kind of. It's not that it's being flipped upside down, but there's a lot of small things.
I think it has been like a huge relief actually starting this closed alpha testing phase. I think it has done a lot to how we actually work on the game.
And to get it out, just to get it off our chest.
Exactly, the fact that we are working on features, and we are always like now working on actually showing it to the community.
Yeah, last time we talked, I remember you saying like, "Ooh, it's nervous to put this thing out in the world for the first time and have it be perceived and all that." And it is nice. Just like, well, now it's out there, and some parts are broken or whatever, and that's how it is. But then just to have it
exactly. I mean,
process.
it's a rock falling from my heart. You can say it's really a nice state we are in right now.
Yes.
I think
It's
super nice making new content and being in this process where we are not sort of like. But we just open about what we do and we show it immediately as we do it.
Yeah. Mike, you mentioned feedback rolling in and you guys are doing stuff about it. What are some of the biggest, so far since closed alpha update 1 or launch, what are some of the biggest things that people responded to or that people have been points of feedback that you mentioned that you guys have been taking in?
So I think one of the things that I've been, you can say pleasantly surprised, but also partially annoyed with. So there was this big concern about the friction of the co-op selection.
Yeah.
And that has actually proved to have even less issues and friction in it than even we expected. Instead, however, we're seeing a lot of friction in getting the team together. And so that is something that, again, we're working on getting Omega voice lines into all these different things. Whenever you do something that the rest of the team needs to be alerted, we need to kind of keep bringing people together, whether it's around Ellis or around an objective or things like that. That has actually, because people, they split up, they're on a time and they're going. Yeah. And so that has, so that's kind of been a double-edged
How
thing.
to soft guide cohesion in that sense.
Yeah, but or I don't know, we're maybe even going a little harder, where we're really trying to, again, add also lines of again, trying to call the team to action, saying I'm ready to get an upgrade. Everybody get over here, right? I mean, yeah.
But definitely, I think that the co-op selection of gathering around Ellis and picking an upgrade, that is something where we are challenging the players a little, right? I mean, is that you're not used to that kind of...
No.
complexity or awareness of what the other players are doing.
Yes.
And so we are actually, it is something that the players will have to learn.
Yeah, there's a balance between friction to the point that it provides structure and excitement in a game, and then also, but not bordering into needless frustration. I think that the team picking upgrades is the biggest example. Because when we first showed Rogue Core footage, people I remember on the live stream, people were like, oh, this is how we're gonna do it, kind of thing. And it is, I agree from playing it in open lobbies and stuff. It's also just been, I don't know, it's rare that I've been it's more of just unlucky rolls that there's nothing cool. Yeah, but rather than, oh man, I get third pick or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think I've been playing with a lot of randos as well in open lobbies. And I think that, and I've been playing a couple of games with the people I just ended up with. And it had taken, the first time, playing with a new group, you sort of need to find each other out and learn to coordinate, right? But then on this already on the second run or the third run, we were running like a smooth machine.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. For me, there's always this the one person who's the team's together, the three are together, and then there's one dwarf is out there mining expedite or something like that. So stuff like that. The other thing is that, of course. And when as you stated in the video that everybody gets to see when they start up Rogue Core, right? This is rough and people have to learn. There isn't really an onboarding experience that they go through. We're not hand-holding so much. but we need to communicate a lot more of what is going on in the game, and that is one of the things that we are working on right now, and wrestling the HUD, trying to figure out, okay, how can we get all this information in the HUD without making it look like a complete mess? And there's a lot to be done there.
It is actually also part of the secret sauce in what makes Deep Rock Galactic work. We are doing we're really doing what we can to inform the whole team about what is going on at any given time in Deep Rock, and that's the same thing that is either lacking or needing more of in Rogue.
In terms of like it needing more, and especially with fan feedback, right now in late June, with where Rogue Core's at and what people are saying, both testers and also people who are watching footage and giving us feedback on Reddit and stuff, even if they haven't played, what are your biggest points of critique or biggest points of concern right now for areas where you think the game needs most attention or looking at?
Yeah, again, I think
we're probably coming with two very different answers now.
We probably are. So for me, it is kind of getting players to play Rogue Core, and this is especially because the majority of our testers are DRG players, and one of the big points of or issues that DRG veterans come upon is that when they approach Rogue Core and they see something that is very DRG-like, and they try to play it the way they play DRG, that doesn't work, right? Yeah. Because Rogue Core plays very differently from DRG.
It's not as casual.
No, it's not as casual. I mean, but like your approach to it, right? People want to explore the caves, and in DRG we are playing on this exploration, and you're looking for minerals and you're mining and looking. But in Rogue Core, you are coming in. You got to just like go, check your corners, and clear the stage, grab as much exponent as you can, get in the elevator, get down, get to the bottom. So like this. And once people get into that, right, their experience of Rogue Core changes, and then it becomes a question of more or less optimizing that process, right? And Rogue Core is very much about optimizing your run, optimizing how you make decisions, and also like just how you move through the caves. Yeah,
there's a sort of a challenge in like getting out of Deep Rock's like escape velocity, or like out from under Deep Rock's shadow in a sense, because of course that's a frame of reference of going into this. It looks like Deep Rock, and it's the...
And that's fair, because we're also building this on top of the success of Deep Rock and what people are expecting. So it's totally fair that you come with some knowledge and expectation from Deep Rock Galactic.
Yeah.
But I think, if I can just say what I think the game is...
that was me.
I mean, I think we're very much focusing on making a single run work and experimenting a lot with what we do within a run. But I think the whole meta progression is something that we are lacking, and I think it's an area that I'm really looking forward to for us to get into the game or make more of. So you get into this feeling that there was one run completed, we need to do another run, and I think we're lacking that right now, and that is something that will be coming in the future.
What about in terms of with feedback from what people are saying again on Discord, Reddit, YouTube, wherever it is? What are your senses of like what are in highest demand for features to implement right now?
Well, I think actually coming out of Alpha 2, the highest demand was like, please make it stable.
Yeah.
and that is actually like is one of the issues we hit upon, right? So we released, especially with Alpha 2, we decided to just like kick it out the door. And that was we're trying to figure out what works, what doesn't here, how rough can we go? And there we went too rough. And the thing is that, I mean, people are interested and they also want to help and they want to test, but they don't want to play if there's like a 50% chance that each run is going to crash out, right? So I think looking towards Alpha 3, it's going to be much more important for us to make sure that it is at least not like run-endingly unstable, right? It's okay that some things don't work, that's going to happen. But.
So we are trying out now to push out updates to the closed alpha pretty rapidly, and we're experimenting with how much time we actually spend on testing and fixing bugs within the builds that we're releasing. And the problem is that normally when we do a season for Deep Rock Galactic or something like that, I mean, we almost spend a month in advance where we actually start closing down and wrapping up and fixing.
Yeah.
And we cannot do that. We are too early in the whole process of what we are doing, and we want to have momentum. So if we were taking out so much time in prepping an update for the closed alpha build, we will simply not get anything done.
Yeah.
And that means that we will be continuously pushing out updates that will have bugs and have issues.
Yeah. One, I would say, fan-requested thing, which isn't maybe necessarily in the game itself, but invites to the closed alpha.
Yeah.
And as long as I've got you two on camera, maybe something to...
Are we done now, I think?
Yeah. Well, thanks, folks. But
Invites.
Adjust that. I mean, any...
Like friend invites or what?
but also just like giving access to the closed alpha. But anytime it's a Steam blog, or basically anytime we make any
but I
noise or
think
movement.
actually if we tie a little bit back to what I was talking about before with having unstable updates that we are pushing out to you guys out there, that is where we're hesitant of just like opening the gates and letting a lot of people into a game that is crashing and not working.
Yeah.
So,
You're good.
so I mean that to us feels a little bit pointless. So until we are a little bit further, and I'm talking about like on the other side of summer vacation, right? We will be cranking up how many people we are letting in, but I think it will grow slowly.
Yeah.
But I can try to make a half promise that we will let more people in every time we do an update.
That's fair enough.
But also more than the previous time.
Yeah, but that's still fair enough.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's just important to also bring up, because I think that's also sort of the hardest to individually explain, and it's something we try to do in streams and stuff, but I also get how if you aren't digesting every single piece of media about Rogue Core, which is totally understandable, like you think, oh man, like I'm the only one left out, and if you are left out, you are in the vast majority, which is unfortunate right now, but as in the future.
But we are simply not ready yet to have the masses in and play the game.
Yeah.
And it will come slowly, and this is maybe other studios do like a closed alpha as a marketing stunt, but we actually do it because we need your help in actually improving the game, and it does something about how we are making the game.
Yeah.
That we actually know that we have people playing it that are not like professional developers, but actually playing it because they're fans of what we do.
We also had, I think, a number of folks asking at the start of like, I've played Deep Rock for 3,000 hours.
Yep.
Like, I should be in.
Yep.
What's your approach to that? How come we didn't?
You're
do
totally
That's not how
right.
it
You
works.
should probably be in.
That's not how it works.
Sorry.
Sadly, the way that Steam's play test is working is random.
Yeah. I mean, there is the challenge of like, how would we document that? We don't know how to document how many hours you have and put that into a system that then doles out invites. But then also the point of like, we have to. There is sort of the Rogue Core in stepping out from the shadow of Deep Rock Galactic of you have to, obviously it should appeal to people who play Deep Rock, but if we've only made a game for them, and then if you are first coming to the franchise or whatever, Rogue Core, like it's
a balance.
It is a balance.
Yes.
What about, I mean, in terms of what people are asking for, is there anything that people are asking for that like you guys just disagree with? Like late joining is one we get asked about a lot, and I think in terms of concerns right now, we hear a lot about.
We've been talking about that.
So we're definitely not disagreeing.
Okay.
Oh.
No. I mean, we are struggling finding a good solution, but I think it is a totally fair point, and maybe the answer is that we are not going to have late joining.
Yeah.
But I totally understand it, and I wish that we had a very strong and easy solution for it. Maybe someone has an easy solution for it, but the thing is,
I've seen some suggestions coming from the community.
Totally. There's a lot of like Reddit and YouTube suggestions and stuff like that.
But again, we also like as you can see, maybe me and Mikkel don't agree 100% here, right?
No.
But there's I think a lot of things going into the whole.
We agree.
Should we have late joining or not?
But we also need to have a solid solution for it. And
that's if we were to have it.
And it comes with this issue that you are playing a roguelike where the team will be leveling up, and what state is a player late joining coming in? I mean, that is the challenge here that we're discussing, right? So you've been playing 2 stages of Rogue Core, you've been collecting guns and artifacts and 4 upgrades and so on, right? And bio booster and pinch upgrades, right? And then someone comes in.
Yeah.
Okay, are they coming in vanilla? If they're coming in vanilla, there's a good chance that, I mean, the host will just kick someone and it will be too weak, right?
Yeah.
And then if they need to level up to the same level, that will take forever for them to pick upgrades, or are we then just giving them a random bunch of upgrades? Well, maybe the host doesn't like that either, the team thinks that's
most likely that's going to be weaker than when you were actually choosing.
So I mean, it just has a lot of issues there, I think.
I think there's another element here, which is that the run is a journey that the team is taking together.
Yeah.
So if like
You don't want to like resent somebody for showing up once all the work's done at the end. And
but it's not even about them taking a shortcut. But the point is that they have not been through that journey with.
It's about the
rest
friends
of the
we
team.
make along the way.
Exactly, right? And then like nothing against the random, right? But they show up. I mean, your relationship to them is a little different, right? Whatever their power level may be and wherever they may be. So I think. I mean,
one of the things, that if I should do a positive spin on not having late join in Rogue Core, I think though that if you end up playing with a random team of people, there's a good chance that when you complete a run, that you will stick around with that team and actually playing the next run, because they are already there and they are available. Where in ROCK GALACTIC we see a lot of, if you play with randoms, we see a lot of jumping around, right? The second you finish a run,
people disconnect
and jump into another server, right?
Which is fine for DRG.
That's totally fine for DRG. I mean, I'm also playing like that, right? That's when I'm playing with randoms. But I really think that Rogue Core has a chance of actually forming these friendships or teams where you join up with random.
I think that's also the better way to play, like from your experience, right? I mean,
I think it's a different way to play, but I'm just saying I think Rogue Core will foster that kind of behavior here.
But I mean also because Rogue Core demands a little bit different things from a team, a little bit more coercion, so therefore being able to like cohesion, cohesion, so that playing with the same people multiple runs will actually get better. You will know each other better. You'll be able to communicate better, even if you're not on voice comms or whatever, right? Yeah. I mean, then maybe that dwarf that is always over there by run 3 will have learned to like stick with the team or something like that, right?
Another like, what about I think comms issues? I think are another concern that we're seeing more. Where in Deep Rock you have more time and breathing room to laser ping something or rock and stun enough that you get attention. Rogue Core, you are a lot of times moving so fast that you might not have time to say, hey, what about this? Should we go and do this event before? Like, is there any concerns other than from your guys, any systems you're thinking about?
I think there are concerns, and I think we're experimenting with it. That's the short of it, I think.
What are you looking at so far?
For example, right now we have, so the way we have constructed the closed alpha is that you can just play 3 runs that are, of course, randomly generated, but they are in increasing difficulty, right?
Yeah.
And you have the same time per stage to complete every stage as you move deeper into the mining facility. And one of the things that we've been discussing is, well, on the first facility, the first run, you could have more time per stage, right? Yep. And then it gets harder.
Okay.
So it's a little bit more forgiving.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, for example, could happen. It could also be that we add more stuff for you to do in harder runs than what you have in the beginning of playing the game.
Yeah.
But I think also in terms of communication, again, going back to this thing where we're trying to automate some of these things. If we know that somebody would want to say, hey, come here.
Yeah.
So one example is that, you know, every time somebody would find a toolbox for the workbench, right? They would come and they would say, okay, workbench is ready, right? So now we have that automated. So the moment you do that, Omega says, hey, workbench is ready.
Yeah, that or bio boost or something like that.
Exactly.
I can see that. Anyway.
But I also think you must remember that if you see a group of professional ROCK GALACTIC players playing on Hazard 5+,
yeah, there's not a lot of time to chat either.
There's no time to chat, and they are running like a machine.
Yeah, true enough. If you're watching this and you have ideas for communication or for late joining, make a YouTube video about it, comment it, make a Reddit post. Mike will
mail
watch
it to Aaron.
Don't mail Mike. I will forward it to Mike.
Yes.
Find Mike on Discord, and Mike will watch it. That's call Mike. Ring him up. Give him a call.
Phone number here.
Yeah. We're getting a landline directly to his house. It's got a really loud alarm. Wake him up any time of day. He'll hear your ideas.
I don't have a landline in my house.
We're working on it.
Thanks.
Speaking of that, what are current ways we've talked a lot about fan feedback and stuff. What are your guys' main methods or main mediums, platforms, or whatever of digesting what folks are saying?
Yeah, so for me it is Discord and mostly like YouTube videos, a little bit of Reddit. The subreddit is still fairly small, and the subreddit, I still check it. Nice things pop up there. But otherwise, Discord is our main one. And again, we have a dedicated closed alpha section in Discord, which, by the way, when you get access to the alpha, there is a button that says to join that section. It's not to join our Discord. You probably already are on our Discord, but it's to get access to that special section where you can give feedback, and there's like 4.
But it's not just feedback. You can also find other players who actually have access to the closed alpha.
Yes, exactly.
I think also to point out as well, I mean, I know that like internally at Ghost Ship, we have our channel, we'll share videos, like video reviews or gameplay footage or people's comments and ideas.
Yep.
And I think also to point out for anyone watching who's shared your ideas and or has some takes on it, and even if you don't have access to the closed alpha, we still read those and still check it out. So it's just important to say that it's not like only the closed alpha invitees or this like secret club of people that have access. It's anyone who has a take, good or bad, short or long, whatever platform, Mike's looking at it.
I'm also looking at a little bit.
Also, yeah.
Yeah, what about you, Mikkel? What are your main...
But I think, I mean, what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cop-out answer, man.
But a good one, because
It's
I said it all.
Yeah. Time-wise, I just want to, like, thinking about moving ahead toward it's June now. Still
Sure
plan
is.
Sure is.
Oh.
It's that month of June.
End of June, even.
End of June, and we feel great.
Yes.
And early access, still aiming for end of the year.
Yes.
What's the plan between now and then? Any development-wise? Sorry.
Summer holidays. Summer holidays is the
Yeah,
plan.
we'll cut the video.
Summer vacation. It's not really bringing us closer to the early access.
No.
Opening a beer.
No, I mean, right now we're trying to figure out whether or not we can get an alpha out before summer vacation.
Yeah.
So whether alpha 3 would be before summer vacation or after summer vacation.
Yeah.
I mean, cutting close, we'll see.
Yeah, we're trying.
Yes.
What about in terms of like what the game needs or development from here? Like if you're making a to-do list of like things you really hope to see implemented before early access, what's on there? Talking.
I mean, the meta progression that
You
Mikkel's
mentioned
talking
that.
about, yes,
I
definitely.
think the meta progression, because that's really where the game will be coming together, I think.
Yeah.
That is where the meta progression will start adding more meaning into what you do in a single run. And I think it will help us in just making the game.
Yeah. And also, I mean, on the other side, it's not that this is a new thing to bring in, but there is a tremendous amount of balancing that still needs to be done.
Yeah.
Right.
Plenty of nerfing for Mike to do. Cool. Well,
That's when the fun starts.
That's unfortunately right now. First, we need to buff a bunch of things, but we're buffing willy-nilly right now, and
think
so
about it
I'll
like
get to
this.
nerf it all back
The
down.
more buffing you do, the more nerfing you have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
you
like,
just make new games so you have more things to nerf, Mike. I think that's what we got time for at the moment. We're going to wrap it up. But folks, if you've got more questions for us as a studio, for Mike, for Mikkel, for any other department of Ghost Ship Games, ping us on Reddit, YouTube, Discord, on stream, platforms of choice. We would love to hear what you have to say and chat with you about that. So, main camera, guys.
I see it.
I see
There it is.
it. You didn't see it. I saw it.
Okay,
Mikkel's
fine.
been staring at it.
I've just been staring at it.
All right. Main camera. If you got things you want to know about Ghost Ship Games, Rogue Core game development, ping us on Discord, YouTube, Reddit, whatever internet platform you choose. We would love to talk to you and hear what you have to say. That's all for now. Do we have anything else? We're all good, right?
We're all good.
All right. Ghost
Rocket
Ship
Stone.
Games out. Smoke bomb.
I'm gonna get back to work now.
All right.